Hello, guys. Actually, the last time I spoke here in Vienna was in exactly this location. Has anyone been there? All right. Now, you might be pleased to hear that I'm giving a different talk today. Yeah, I changed the beginning. So now that the beginning is over, so I want to talk about intention with you guys. And, well, first of all, let me bring the energy in the room a little bit down by bringing out a dictionary. 1 second. No, it's not a dictionary. You crazy? What do you think I have a smartphone for? This is a book that I bring to the subway because it makes me look really sophisticated. And I also have a monocle and a pipe for that very reason. Even though in Vienna, they don't like it if you smoke a pipe on the subway. So, intention. Here we go. This is what the Merriam-Webster dictionary has to say about intention. So, number 1, a determination to act in a certain way. This is funny to read this upside down. What one intends to do or bring about. A process or manner of healing incised wounds. We're not going to talk about that, but I invite you to Google this. And then, lastly, purpose with respect to marriage. Now, I don't know what you guys thought when you first heard that, but when I read it, I thought it's either A, getting rich quick, or B, lifelong free sex, or ideally C, both. But today, I want to talk with you guys about this one here, what one intends to do or bring about. Now, as Herold said in my introduction, I work as a coach and a speaker, and the clients that I work with and the organizations that I speak for, they bring me in for one or more of those reasons. One is to help them reach a goal. Second is to help them overcome an obstacle. And number 3 is to teach them a skill that I'm able to teach. A few years ago, I spoke in Luxembourg, and that event was pitched to me a couple of weeks before, maybe 2 months before the actual event. And I'll show you how this entire conversation went. And I put it into text format for dramatization purposes. So it went like this. Hey, Michael, we're an organization that works with people with a disability. And we try to bring this more into the public eye. So the people that we work with, they're usually adults, sometimes seniors, and we want to bring this more to the children. Would you be willing to work with us on that? Yes, that sounds awesome. Count me in. Great. So we're all set up. We rented a cinema, and we're in touch with a couple of schools, and it's the school holidays, so they bring all their kids to the event. It's like, awesome. How old did you say those teenagers are? Well, between 8 and 12. Really? Yes, and there's going to be about 500 of them. Really? Yes, there's even going to be some popcorn and soft drinks, and we're going to show them an animated movie afterwards. Really. Now, what we would like you to do is talk to those children for an hour about what it's like to live with a disability. There's also going to be a film team, and they're covering it for national television. I was insanely scared of that talk for weeks. I was thinking, they're not going to sit still for 2 minutes. I'm not going to get out of there alive. I'm going to embarrass myself on national television. Actually, sometimes I just found myself in my apartment going like this. And even when I was going to the airport, I was still tempted to just call those guys, give them their money back, and go back home. When I got there, well, let me just say, you have no idea how large a cinema is unless you are where the screen is. You actually have to turn your head to see all the seats. Now, as I was getting ready, or I should say terrified, the busloads of children came in, with the children chattering and punching each other and bringing the noise level up to something that made the speaker system just hide in shame. And then when every single seat was filled, the organizer grabbed the microphone, walked up in front of the crowd, introduced the event, introduced me, and then went, and here's Michael. And And there I went. So I stood in front of those children and I told them about what it was like to grow up with a disability, what it was like to go through the challenges, the struggles, the bullying, the hardships, the wins, well, what it was like to go through all of that. And there was complete silence. Like they were completely listening. You couldn't hear a single sound in the entire hall. And when my talk was over and we opened it up for questions, a barrage of hands went up from those children. And if you think that a 10-year-old is not able to have a serious discussion, you're dead wrong. Like, we had the most intense conversations afterwards. And even when the entire event was over and these kids could have gone home, they still walked up to me and they wanted to ask more questions, get more engaged, even get autographs. And there was this one little guy, it's like this, with a bright yellow jacket, and he didn't bring any paper. So I was like, Michael, you can sign on my jacket. I was like, no, man, your mom's gonna kill me. Like, Luxembourg is small, she's gonna find me. So there were 500 kids in that audience, and I'm very confident when I say that none of those kids is ever going to bully someone. And those kids in there that had a disability of their own, they carried it with a lot more pride afterwards. I was so scared of this event, this speech, that I just wanted to run, I wanted to hide, I wanted to quit, I wanted to cancel, I wanted to move to a country that doesn't expedite. And now, this is one of my most memorable and proudest moments, and I will carry this moment to the grave with me, with a big smile on my face and a chest filled with pride. Now, why am I telling you this? When the clients that come to me and the organizations that I speak for, they do this with one of three things in mind: to help them reach a goal, to overcome an obstacle, or so that I can teach them a skill that I'm able to teach them. Their intention, however, is something like this: I don't want to be uncomfortable doing X anymore. I don't want to be afraid of doing X. I just want to be comfortable doing X. Or in general terms, I just finally want to be happy and comfortable. This is their goal. This is why they want to work with me, because they want to be free of discomfort and fear. I tell them very early on that this is childish and it's cowardly and it's, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, chicken shit. So here's a scientific diagram for you. So this is drawn from decades of neuroscience and evolutionary psychology. So it's rather complex, and I do realize it's Friday morning, but I'll walk you through this. It's going to be worth it. This is you, and this is your goal. Now, what stands in the way? Discomfort. And I'll use discomfort as a proxy for all those emotions that we perceive to be inherently negative. Being nervous, anxious, afraid, shy, incompetent, whatever it is. Now, this diagram should show you two things. First, discomfort is exactly what stands between you and your goal. Second, being uncomfortable means that you're moving in exactly the right direction. Now, for the sake of an argument that I'm going to make in a second, let's say that this is all about getting that goal checked off, getting it off your to-do list, putting that check mark behind it, perfect. Now, what happens? If you're, anything like me, you'll kick back a little, you'll chill, pop a bottle of champagne, hit a bubble bath, celebrate in style. But the next day, you'll set a new goal. And the entire thing repeats forever, the hedonic treadmill. Now, what do we make of this? Well, first of all, on one side, you could see your life as a string of achievements that are tied together by long periods of discomfort and fear. Or it could be the realization that fear and discomfort are just permanent companions on your journey through life, and that they're always ahead of you, and you'll never be able to fully catch up with them for long. And they are your guides toward those things that are meaningful and that give your life fulfillment. So, I mean, both of them are fine, don't get me wrong. My question is, which one do you choose? Do you say, well, I have to be uncomfortable for hours, days, weeks, maybe months or years, and then it will be meaningful? Or do you say, well, I'm uncomfortable right now, and that means that what I'm doing is meaningful? Think about those moments in your life that give or gave your life meaning. Those moments that you will still remember when you draw your last breath on your deathbed. Is it going to be those days, or is it going to be the day where you binge-watched Netflix for 12 hours? The laughter of recognition. Is it the day where you slept in until 3 p.m. and then you ordered pizza and you ate it in bed? Is it that 2-month break at university where you just kicked back and you did nothing? As in, all those moments that were comfortable and enjoyable. Or is it that day where you quit your job and you started your own business? Is it the day where you told that special someone that you like him or her and where you leaned in for the first kiss? Is it the day you ran a marathon, or the day you rushed your partner to the maternity ward for your first child to be born? Now, if it's the comfortable stuff, then by all means, go for it. But if it's those things that come after fear and discomfort, then realize how much of a compass those feelings are. And no, it's not about fear and discomfort. It's about the stuff that comes after it. But the next time you have butterflies in your stomach, or your hands are shaking, you're freaking out, know that this is great, because it means that you're moving in exactly the right direction. So stop waiting for this to become easy. Stop waiting for this to be over. Like, this is what life is about, and this is what gives life so much meaning. Now, don't get me wrong, there are enough people that live a very comfortable life, and they just they don't do much with it, and they're comfortable enough that it's bearable. But I don't think you guys are one of those, because otherwise you wouldn't be here on a Friday morning to connect with a community like this. On the other hand, there are some of you here, and you're like theatrically scratching your chin, you're like twisting your mustache, and you're like, wait a second. I hate my life, I hate the person I've become, I hate my job, every second I hate my job. Like, are you telling me that because I'm uncomfortable, this is the right thing to do? Like, what have you been smoking, Michael? What is that BS? Well, good question, and here's my guess. The discomfort that your job or your current personality, your current lifestyle creates, the level of discomfort is here. Now, the level of discomfort that is caused by actually thinking about changing that stuff is somewhere here. And that's the difference. And on a deeper level, it's not even about what you want, because that is what you get is fleeting at best. It's the question of, what struggle are you willing to engage in forever? Which battle are you willing to fight for the rest of your life? Because you're going to fight some battle. You're going to be in some struggle. The question is, which one? You have the choice between the pain of change, or you can have the pain of being stuck where you currently are. So there's going to be some struggle. Which one do you want? And I'll give you an example from my own life. So for the longest time, I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to go to the bookstore and see all those books on the bookshelf with my name on it that were inspiring and funny and clever and made people change their lives. But I hated writing. It's like it's like taking an ice bath while having I don't know, whatever. It's horrible. And so how would my life look like? I would write for months in agony and then get that book out, spend 2 weeks in Hawaii, and then write the next book, and the entire thing repeats. And that's a struggle that I was just not willing to fight. With coaching, however, it's different. Yes, my goal is to help people change their lives and help them to come to their full potential. But I also don't mind being involved in the struggles that come with it. The coaching sessions that happen late at night and leave me drained. When I turn on my phone in the morning and it goes bing, 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 because I get all those emails from clients that have questions, want feedback, struggle with something. And then I sit there for hours and I reply to them while my stomach tells me it's time for breakfast and my bladder it's time for nature to get its right and it's really getting serious. And it's not like I'm enjoying that, but if that's what it takes, then I'm there, and I don't care how long I have to be in there, because if that's what it takes, then that's the struggle that I'm going to fight with. So I'll close with this: know where your struggles lie, know where your discomfort and your fear lies, and then go there. Because what you do if you constantly head towards discomfort and the struggle, the fear, is you build up that muscle. And after a while, doing the uncomfortable thing is just going to be the normal thing. And once you've reached that point, then change is happening faster than you could have ever anticipated. So let this be your intention: to move toward discomfort, to move toward fear, and to stand in that struggle, and to know that this is the journey of life and this is what it's all about. Thank you.